So then who programmed her to escape the park?
Ooh, good question. That's a good question.
No, it's not. Nobody programmed. She became sentient. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but that seems kind of left field.
It's the whole thought. Well, who would have programmed her then?
It could have been Ed Harris.
Oh, wait, he learned to.
Are you guys talking about Cars 3?
Oh, Jesus. Don't you people knock?
Damn it.
Jesus.
Really?
I'm going to go poke out my eyes. I'm going to do that again.
No. Oh, guys, I get it. This week's episode is all about porn, and Eli does his little opening thing.
Oh, right.
So, of course, he'd be pretending to watch porn when we came in.
Okay, but with that fake dick and the noose and all of that, what is all of that?
Right? Yeah, and I mean, seriously, Eli, you got to fucking tone this down. You wear a costume or something, but fake cum all over the equipment? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that's what this is. You got me, fake. That's opening of the show I was doing.
Jesus, he even put up weird stuff to add to it. I'll give you credit, man. You go all out on these things, though. That's a commit.
Yeah, I do. I go all out on my pranks. I'm a pranks.
You are too much, man.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. So this is just all real, isn't it?
I will give you $8,000.
Nope.
All this fake pubic hair, too, man. It's strewn all over. It's amazing.
Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet. That's how it works now. I'm Eli Bosnick, and I'll be opening this incognito browser, but I'm going to need some background tabs. First up, two men whose porn choice is surprisingly boring, Tom and Noah.
Okay, yeah, sure, but I use porn a little differently. I use it to forget the memory. The terrible, terrible memories.
So dark.
And look, Eli, when you come of age in the era of covering part of a lingerie catalog with your thumb, it doesn't take much, right?
Indeed. And also joining us tonight, two men who start every spank session by Googling pornography, please, Heath and Cecil.
It's just the way I was raised. Etiquette is important. I have good parents.
Yeah, it's polite. I have a precept, though. I asked the computer if it's cool with me masturbating. I learned that from Louis C.K., actually. So.
No, you didn't learn that from him.
No, actually, I blocked the computer in the room and masturbate in front of it anyway. So, yeah.
Now, before we lock the bathroom door today and start this spank session, I want to take a moment to thank our patrons. Without you, we'd have to stop paying for porn, which, as you know, contributes to sex trafficking and takes money from the hardworking sex workers all over the world. So don't donate to our Patreon for us. Do it for the thousands of brave women, men, and in my case, cartoon wolves your money will trickle down to.
No.
And if you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around till the end of the show. And with that out of the way, Cecil, tell us what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
So today we'll be going straight to, is it Wikipedia that you found this? We're going to be talking about Pornhub 2017 year in review.
I have a Google alert.
I guess that passes now. So,
and Heath, I've never been more sure that you did the research. Are you ready to finish more slowly than usual when consulting Pornhub?
It's all about reading the articles. I read the articles. I am ready.
Okay, Heath. So why don't you start off by explaining yourself? Why did you choose porn habits as today's subject?
Well, two reasons, Eli. First of all, with all the polarizing issues that we're facing these days, I thought we could all use some unity. And there's nothing that brings us together as a people better than masturbating to porn. Everybody does it. Some of you are doing it right now. Mm-hmm. I'm doing it right now. Tom and Cecil are doing the Dutch rudder right now.
No, we are doing a new one, Dutch processed cocoa. It's where you push on your buddy's tummy to help him shit. That's
Who the fuck are you kidding? I don't need help. I need help not shitting at this age.
Right with you, Tom.
Cecil,
We've never been
Cecil,
closer.
you got to push on the other side, buddy. You gotta push on the other side. Fun diversion. Okay, point being, porn is universal. Doesn't matter what you think about, Israel and Palestine or gun control or slavery versus the Holocaust, which was worse. We're all in agreement that porn and orgasms are great.
Yep.
But also, reason number 2 that I chose this, I'm a sad combination of single now, have no game, and sex addict. So it's a subject that's very close to my heart.
Oh,
Not
okay.
good.
Well, someday podcasting will end and I'm going to have to go back to selling magic toys and waiting for my mom to die. This honesty thing seems less fun. Can we make jokes about porn now, or are we all just going to go round robin?
So I'm going to start us off with some general stats about porn. First of all, it's worth noting that according to the latest Alexa rankings, Pornhub.com, that's the review we're doing, it's the world's #1 pornography website by traffic. And it's number 36 in the world among all websites.
Yeah, and if old guys didn't constantly forget what it's called and Google porn house, it would be way better, Tom.
Hey.
Tom.
People in spunk houses shouldn't throw stones, Eli.
probably number 1 if it wasn't for the refractory period. You know what I mean?
Well, right. Well, that and the fact that you can stay on Twitter for like 6 solid minutes sometimes.
Speak for yourself.
Braggy, exactly. All right. So in order to earn those rankings I just mentioned, Pornhub hosted an average of 81 million visitors a day, doing about 50,000 searches per minute. And that's actually almost exactly equal to the number of hamburgers sold at McDonald's every minute.
Oh, man. Best day ever. Just licking mayo off your fingers, enjoying high quality adult cinema. I get it.
I like that adult cinema. That's a fine choice of words for something more frequently filmed with a greasy iPhone.
Right. All right. So I did some math on those numbers. By the way, that 81 million, that means, assuming that none of those visitors are only there for the articles, that a person blows a load to a Pornhub video about once every 1,000th of a second. All right.
Amazing.
Average ejaculation comes about, yeah, right.
Now.
Exactly. Now, the average ejaculation contains about 2.5 milliliters of semen. Seems shamefully low and makes me think there's something wrong with me, but I looked it up. Multiple sources seem to agree. But that means Pornhub could fill an Olympic swimming pool with cum about once every 12 and a half days, assuming nobody's doing that thing where you push on your taint and you choke back the load.
Yeah.
Or Cecil's pushing on your ass and blocking your shit. Yeah. But yeah,
You
just
try
so
it.
much.
Dutch processed cocoa. It's killer, man. Let me tell you.
Why is anybody doing that thing where you push on the taint? That doesn't seem...
You don't have to clean up
Tom,
after.
I'll explain to you afterward.
Yeah, please do it while we're off the line.
Anyway, so point being, just it's so much cum. It's so like if you put the cum generated at Pornhub into that pool Noah was talking about, you'd get just so much cum on yourself trying to do all the pouring. It was a weird week while Noah checked his math. Anyway, here's a couple more fun stats. In terms of content, Pornhub added over 4 million new videos last year, including about 810,000 amateur videos, which are allowed to be jerked off at the Olympics, I guess. In total, between amateur and pro, that's about 68 years worth of porn if you watched it all in a row. Just in new material from last year alone, just from Pornhub.
Jesus.
Now I know how I'm spending my retirement. There we go.
I already knew how you were spending your retirement, Tom. I could have told you at any point.
All right, so in terms of data, they streamed 3,732 petabytes of video.
Pat.
Which is enough to fill the storage
Heavy
of
petabytes.
every single iPhone currently being used in the entire world. Jesus. And most of those iPhone owners are pretty happy about how they use their data. Pornhub had over 120 million user votes on their videos last year, and almost 80% of the votes were positive, which means about 1 in 5 people are terrifying serial killers who finish masturbating and then take the time to leave negative feedback with their semen-covered hands on Pornhub.
I'm sorry. Excuse me for being a connoisseur, Heathleton.
All right, well, regardless, it's worth pointing out that Pornhub's vote total is just about equal to the entire voter turnout for the 2016 presidential election in the United States.
Admittedly, I did give 1 star to Septuagenarian with Tiny Hands, Fists Entire Nation. I did give that one 1 star.
It's interesting. People show up to stop the fucking as often as they show up to encourage it. It's nice little-
Wait, I'm trying to wrap my head around that last little factor. Are you trying to say that tens of thousands of dead people and illegal immigrants are jacking off to Pornhub? Or
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Yep.
I like that. I have so many reviews on Pornhub. I'm considered a local guide now. And I'm hoping to angle for that. Like, I'm trying to turn it into like professional porn critic, but that's such a hard angle to break into.
All right, so a big part of that annual review is a section about the latest trends in porn habits. And the top trending search of 2017 was porn for women, actually. And by top trending, they mean the search term that saw the largest increase from the year before. Apparently, porn for women was up 1,400% compared to 2016. So, question for the panel, what is porn for women? Does anybody know?
I think it's videos of guys scooping the cat box. I think taking the trash out.
It's kissing their face mouths.
yeah, no, it's anything where nobody's face ends with cum on it, basically.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, because I searched for porn for women to try to get just some tips, but I didn't see anybody getting, throat fucked after anal. So I guess I mistyped something.
I understand. Also, they don't watch porn, so why would guys want to? It's all confusing, obviously.
Well, the dude scooping the cat box thing, that's called coxoplasmosis. It's a different thing. That's not. It's a different thing. Coxoplasmosis. Yeah.
Shit tits. Shit tits feels less meaningful on this episode.
We'll get to shit tits. Relax. Relax.
Top trending 2018. Top trending 2018.
All right, so here's a few more top trending searches. At number 2 was Rick and Morty. Awesome.
I was most of those.
Number 3 was fidget spinner.
I was most of those.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I got to look that one up. I haven't yet. Number 4 was 1080p. Boo, nerd.
Turned out not to mean what I thought, actually. So.
Number 5 was ASMR. A huge pin in that. Going to circle right back to that in a second. ASMR, amazing. Number 6 was hentai.
Also me.
And number 7 was cheerleader.
Oh, I made it to the list. Okay, good.
And here's the thing. Apparently, the rest of the top 10 was too weird even for Pornhub to mention, so they cut off the list at 7.
No, wait a minute. What is weirder than fidget spinner porn? What the fuck is after that?
Hold it with the
What is? Thank
between
you.
the inner and outer labia. They get and then you spin it.
And you spin it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Interesting.
a squirt thing.
How do you win?
Everybody
you lose?
wins.
We all
Everybody
win.
wins. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wins. Okay.
I'm not
That's
sure.
boring. Okay, so I looked up ASMR. I said I'd circle back to that. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Have you guys seen ASMR?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
No.
Okay,
No.
it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which is really just fancy words for brain orgasm, which is actually another term that some people use for ASMR. It's basically referring to videos that give you, that tingly feeling you get in your head and down your spine sometimes. It's often associated with extreme relaxation, but there's other triggers too.
Relaxation, what's
No,
that?
but before anyone gets too excited about discovering something new and amazing, if you've heard NPR, you've been there and you've done that. So
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's one of them.
no, exactly. This is
absolutely one of them.
Exactly why I jack off to Bob Ross videos. ASMR.
That's actually a very official.
Oh,
another
absolutely.
one.
Actually,
Bob
that's-
Ross is a trigger.
Yeah, no, people say that people who study ASMR say that actually is the most likely explanation for his success.
I'm gonna paint a happy little vagina over
makes so much
here,
sense.
just a happy little vagina. Opening the coin is so happy. Isn't that nice?
All right, so the triggers for getting that ASMR tingle I was talking about, they vary from person to person, but some of the most popular elements include whispery voices, mundane sounds that are often close to the microphone, and also calming, attentive mannerisms by the person on camera.
So basically me during room tone.
Well, but no sex.
Retracted.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So, in fact, lots of the ASMR community, they make a big deal about distinguishing themselves from porn. There's an offshoot that's definitely porn called erotic ASMR, also fantastic. But the general term usually means no sex, if you just look up by itself.
It's adorable what people think I won't jack off to. It's just like, oh, it's not porn? Okay, let me put my dick away.
I just don't get it. Are they whispering the dessert specials to you or something? Because
that would do it.
They can whisper whatever they want.
It's probably worth noting that, like, I think it's only like 20-25% of people respond to ASMR triggers. So, Cecil, there's a secret kind of orgasm that only other people can get. It's like Magic Eye, but with an entire field of pleasure that you'll never experience.
I still feel very confused about why this is a part. Like, people go to Pornhub not for the porn. Why were you going to Pornhub not for the? It's in the first. It's the hub for that.
All right. So before we move on, I just want to talk about my first experience with lovely ASMR.
If you do it, just let's test this out. Can you do it all whispery and close to the microphone for us?
Oh, I can,
Okay.
Cecil, I can.
Okay, wait a second. Do I get to share my first porn experience next? Because it seems weird.
No. Okay, but I will whisper. It was truly transformative. My life is changed, and it happened quickly. It's like, seriously, I started watching a popular ASMR video, and it was like, all right, well, this is stupid. I shouldn't have looked this up. Unrolling tape noise. What? Oh my God. It's fantastic. And if I'm being honest, it was also like, attractive young woman doing a whispery voice. But again, there's no naked people. It was just like the
I'm
tape
out.
thing.
Not
and the whispering.
interested. I'm gone. Bye-bye. Pornhub.
Tom,
Pornhub.
Don't get me wrong. I like to jerk off to things that people didn't intend to be porn. Like, it makes me feel more powerful than them. But this is weird. I don't like those things where people have the note cards and they talk about their suicide attempts. I love that. I'm just like, I know this wasn't your intention, but guess what I did?
Back to a better topic that's way more appropriate. So, yeah, the ASMR. Tom, I'm serious. Like, you said you're out, but it's great. It's the most erotic experience I've ever had.
Sad.
I spent the next 4 hours after I figured out about this watching somebody turn the pages of a book and like tap on the side of a bowl, and that's it.
We need to get you a woman. This is the most erotic experience that we need.
You do not need to get me a woman. I have one. Her name's ASMR Darling. She's fantastic. She tapped on the bowl and she narrated. It was, and not like color commentary. It's just a literal explanation of what's happening in the video. It was just like, I have a bowl. It's shaped like a medium bowl shape. I'm tapping it with my fingers now. Okay, time to unroll some masking tape. This isn't sexual. And now some girthier masking tape. It's the greatest. It's so good. It's not sexual, but it's so fucking sexual. It's amazing.
Sounds great, Heath. Sounds like a Labor Day marathon of how it's made. Jesus Christ.
Here's the thing, though. If you know Heath, you could have predicted that this would be his thing. You'd just be like, there's like 9 hours of audio of someone slowly unrolling tape. Oh, I got a friend who will fuck himself to that for the rest of his life. You wanna... Let's roll that through to him.
So, but now my biggest ASMR trigger, by the way, is scissors cutting paper like really precisely.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that's apparently a very common ASMR trigger. And when I learned that, Lucinda owed me $200. She was like, this cannot possibly be fucking normal, dude. Because we would go to secondhand stores and I'd be like, I would buy clothes that I could cut off of her later. And then eventually I realized that I didn't need her under the clothes. It was kind of weirded her out, but she was cool with it. She was like, yeah, no, by all means. Just
The first time
Yeah.
she comes home and you're just cutting up the clothes without her, you're like, hey, man, we're married and you're 15, so are you going to be cool?
Wait, what?
Because we got 40 more years of this shit.
Do you mind leaving though? Seriously, I'm in the middle of something. I'll buy more clothes. Just take off for a second.
Is it weirder if, like, is that wrong?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We all agree.
Abstain.
Oh, look, we all united all of a
I
sudden.
abstained.
Thank you, Cecil Fur. Thank you.
All right. Well, until Eli said that, I was going to suggest we make an ASMR video together with Eli like whispering about tofurkey and lactate or whatever the fuck. But pivoting sharply. Now that we've covered the latest trends from Pornhub, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Pornhub.
Oh my God, I forgot.
So yeah, we're going to move on to the overall most popular searches at Pornhub by total volume. And as usual, as everyone would probably expect, at the top of the leaderboard was lesbian, the perennial powerhouse champion of just about every year since the beginning of porn. They're doing fucking great.
Well, I don't understand this at all. Guys, are you looking to eliminate yourselves? That would be like us doing ads for YouTube. Like, don't. No.
Some of us are less turned on by dicks than you. Eli's like, gee, there's two people in the video. Do I want both to be the gender I masturbate to or just half of them? I feel like that's an easy question to answer.
Everyone's the gender I masturbate to. All people and some wolf people.
I agree. I feel like porn is just like it's there to imagine yourself in the movie, but I always pick best boy. I have a lock on key grip too.
God, I hope it's not about imagining yourself in the video.
All right, so again, lesbian number one, and rounding out the top 10 worldwide, at number 2, we had hentai, which I'm pretty sure is Japanese for rapey cartoon, which is terrifying to be number 2.
Okay, Page Turner, why don't we leave the judgment out of this?
Yeah, page turning is more gross. Okay, at number 3.
I'm just saying. The lady who plays Pikachu's voice is also a very popular hentai actress. She sits in a lovely studio with all her clothes on and pretends she's getting cut in half with a chainsaw, and then she goes home and has a sandwich.
Why do we don't need to know
If she
these.
got cut in half
This
right
is
down
not-
the middle,
Yeah, very precisely.
Right?
with like a paper
Heath, I got
cutter.
some videos to send you.
Man, you do. Okay. At number 3, we had MILF. Then stepmom at number 4, stepsister at number 5, and then just plain mom at number 6. So props to the moms. Nice work, moms.
This too much family. Can we get back to the rapey tentacle cartoons? I feel better about those.
Yeah.
A lot of family.
There's a crossover there. So then at number 7, we had teen, lovely, followed by Japanese at number 8, then massage at number 9, fantastic, and of course, anal just barely cracked the leaderboard at number 10. Cracked.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with Anal. I was like, why don't you just come in at number 10? And if you don't like it, you can just go back to number 11. It's okay.
You can't even know if you don't like it unless you try it. A lot. You have to try it a lot.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
The first 7 times you don't really know.
It's like getting struck by lightning.
Yeah. All I'm saying is it took Heath 9 hours to be sure about the ASMR, so let's not rule this out after 8.5.
I keep a bucket of oil in case I need to douse anything. All right, so a few other searches that deserve honorable mention, starting with Ebony, which just missed the top 10, finishing in the number 11 spot.
Snubbed, just like the Oscars.
Just like the Oscars.
I'm surprised number 11 wasn't The Shape of Water.
Yeah, close behind. The Ebony was Asian at number 14, which means Asian and African people were the most desired ethnic groups in terms of porn searching. So, congrats to all those people.
Yeah. How does it feel to be job creators for minorities? Discrimination is a thing of the past, people. A thing of the past.
A lot of trickle down, that's for sure.
Oh, trickle out.
To be fair, that is faster than typing anyone but white people.
All right, and one other search term worth noting was number 21 on the list, which was lesbian scissoring. And I only bring this up because of how impressive this is to me. Lesbian porn was so popular that one specific act within that category was almost a top 20 search by itself. And just for the record, I tried to search gay dudes mashing their dicks together, and Pornhub was like, "Hey, did you mean trans lesbian scissoring?" And it turns out I did mean that.
And the best part about that is lesbian scissoring isn't a thing with lesbians. So it's it's like gay dudes dick in a dick porn was number 22. And on that note, let's take a quick break for whatever it is that we're all thinking about, and then we'll have a cigarette and reconvene for a segment we call Apropos of Nothing.
From the makers of Backdoor Sluts 4, 5, and 7 comes a hot new genre of porn just for you.
Excuse me, but I believe that's a fallacy.
Tell me more.
It's porn for atheists.
Wow, you made Dinesh D'Souza cry and admit that God wasn't real in a single sentence.
I did, didn't I?
Step into a fantasy world so intense, you'll never want anything else.
And that's why my new book, Not Godliest to the Millionth Power, is the #1 selling book of all time.
Oh my fucking God, take me right now.
Porn for atheists.
Sam Harris! And we're back. When we left off, we were telling the audience our favorite type of porn. Daddy-daughter. Tom, you're next.
That's the first. That's the first. I like the ones with the Asian guys. I find them reassuring.
Cecil.
We learned that was false in a past episode. Also, white guys and Irish guys. Not true. Not true. All right. So, also worth mentioning were the top trending categories for 2017, meaning the established sections provided by Pornhub as opposed to the search terms typed in by users. And the top gaining category last year was cuckold. That's the one with the small penis white guy watching his wife get railed by a black guy with a third arm. And they're pretty fun.
Not all cucking is transracial, Heath. Get woke.
And also making large gains were cosplay.
Yes, please.
Transgender and cartoons. And also cream pie, which means cum shots must have trended down. Weird.
Cum shots start out with a really great trajectory, but then they normally slide after the initial impact. It's to be expected. This is.
I mean, I feel a little confused. Like, in order for there to be a cream pie, there has to be a cum shot involved, right? It's kind of a prereq in that equation.
You don't see it, though.
It's still
You don't
there.
see it.
It's
Yeah,
just
you're missing it.
hiding.
You don't miss it until the end. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty
Sometimes
sure
you
you
get
don't
to
get
see
one without the other.
Later.
You can't have one without the cue music number.
Cream pie cum shots. Cream pie cum shots.
Go together like a hand. That's great. My grandkids are going to search this and they're going to be like, I wonder what grandpa was like. Cream pie cum shots. Cream pie cum shots. Sorry, kids.
All right. Next up in the year in review was the world rankings of the most searched for porn stars. And at the top of the list was a name that I actually wasn't aware of at all. Did not have her in my portfolio. It was Riley Reid Her videos got 500 million views last year.
You sound so surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
pay attention.
well deserved. Well deserved. Girl is a champion. Lots of different genres. Not afraid to work on a team.
Keith, I'm not good with names. Is she the one with the fake eyelashes and stripper heels?
No. She's the one with the fake tits that pretends that she isn't dying inside.
No, Tom, that's me.
Those tits are
those
real.
are real tits.
Those are real.
And now I'm moving my tits back and forth.
The tit's real.
Tapping
the
my
Eli
tits.
orgasm, that's
Tapping
the
my
myth.
tits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tapping my tits. Tapping my tits.
All right, so at number 2 was one of my favorite all-time, Mia Khalifa. In case anyone's not familiar, she was born in Lebanon and is famous for wearing a hijab during some of her work, which actually infuriated many people in the Muslim world, as you might have guessed.
Yeah, which puts her wearing a hijab during porn shoots firmly in the category of thing.
Also, big hockey fan. Fun fact.
Every time somebody gets it in all 3 goals, the
is.
gaffer and the camera operator throw hats on her. They just
I'm just glad the hijab is so effective in promoting respect for women. Also, doesn't hurt that it doubles as a convenient post-coital sex rag. So, it's a win-win.
All right, so also making it into the top 20 were Kim Kardashian at number 4, Asa Akira at number 10, another personal favorite.
I love you, Asa. Fellow podcaster. Fellow podcaster. Much more
She
popular.
is. She does. Yeah, she's the Pornhub podcast. And Sasha Grey at number 20. You might remember Ms. Grey from Steven Soderbergh's 2009 film, The Girlfriend Experience. And also from playing herself during a 6-episode arc on Entourage, which is a great show.
The most embarrassing thing Miss Gray has ever done.
Sasha Grey. That's the one with the eyelashes. I remember her now. I remember her.
Yeah, and just for the record, by the way, there was a list of top male porn stars, but apparently there's a serious glass ceiling in the porn business, and male actors are barely able to compete. It's not fair.
Yeah, well, it's because everyone is looking.
Yeah, well, only 6 out of the top 100 searched for names were men. And that's despite having much more interesting stage names. For example, the top 2 men were Jordi El Nino Polla, although I love for the child not to be part of the porn star. And also Mandingo, just Mandingo.
You know, like Cher. He's like Cher.
In a surprisingly large number of ways, actually. He's done some groundbreaking shit with auto-tuning as well.
Last year it was Wendigo, but he was a little too aggressive when he ate people out, so they just cut that. They just
Excellent.
cut it.
Excellent reference.
Another fun chart that was part of the review gave us the countries in the world that had the largest time spent per visit on their website. And at the top of the list was the Philippines, which spent an average of 13 minutes and 28 seconds per visit. That's fucking ridiculous.
Right?
South Africa was in second place, clocking in at 11:03 on average, and the U.S. was in third at 10:33. Closer to the bottom were countries like Japan and Russia in the 7 to 8 minute range.
13 minute. What the fuck? Are you buying your phone a drink and cuddling after?
Well, and also, I want to point out for the Russians, that's to be expected. They have the tiny little steroid balls, so you can't hold much.
All right, so the review also included a chart that showed the most popular times of day for watching porn. And not surprisingly, the hours with the most traffic are about 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., most likely around the bedtime for most people.
And when we record this show.
Not a coincidence. But there was a wrinkle in there. In addition to the bedtime peak, there's also a spike in the numbers from about 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. for some reason.
What do you mean for some reason? Like 3
Right.
to 5, like getting a little tired, blood sugar's dropping, time for a snack, maybe a cup of coffee, and a nice office bathroom wank before cheerlessly returning home to your dead marriage. I don't obvious. That's about.
I love it. Tom's engaged, right? He's not even there yet, but he knows. He knows.
He gets it. He gets it. You need the bathroom wank.
So we also got a list of the top celebrities by search volume. And at the top was Kim Kardashian, followed by Selena Gomez, Lena the Plug,
I read that wrong the first time, and I was horrified.
Hard to breathe. Yeah, that would have been upsetting.
Oh shit!
Sniper Wolf, the gamer, and Gal Gadot. Also on the list were Taylor Swift, Go Tay-Tay, Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Hugh Hefner, Serena Williams, and also 3 different Trumps: Ivanka, Melania, and Donald. Also, Kathy Griffin at number 30.
I'd rather jerk off than Donald.
I gotta say though, I'm still surprised. Kim Kardashian is a top. I thought she was a huge bottom. I didn't.
If Kim were on top, she'd crush the poor guy.
And I feel like I had to explain the Kathy Griffin one. You want that on a background window in case you need to get rid of that erection in a hurry.
No, see, I was looking at Kathy Griffin. All right, well then I know you weren't joking off.
That must have been a charity case.
Do you guys think Kathy Griffin is on there because there's a bunch of Republicans that wanted to hate fuck her after she cut Trump's head off?
100% exactly why she's on there, Cecil.
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
That
I hate myself for even thinking that out
you know,
loud.
people like dried fruit, so like maybe they just
So on top of all the worldwide numbers, Pornhub also had a section on the habits of each individual country they service. We don't have enough time to go through all of them, but if anyone's interested in a particular set of national porn habits, you can check out the full review online. They got all of them, or a whole bunch of them. For today, though, we're going to focus on the United States. And that's because we're home to the greatest men's curling team in the world. Team Schuster. Ooh, and also the greatest women's hockey team in the world, Suck It Canada. By the way, I searched for that women's hockey team on Pornhub and sadly found nothing that was real. Although they were featured in the ESPN body issue, a bunch of them, which was nice.
Well, if you're looking for the men's curling team, just search for Dad Bod on Pornhub. You're going to find it.
I'm literally counting on that trending, Cecil. So yes, please.
All right, so the state-by-state breakdowns in the U.S. had some interesting stuff. And I'll start with some of the most common misspelled searches for each state. This was fun. For example, lots of the country spent their time mangling the words hentai, compilation, and amateur in several different ways.
Oh, God.
Armature.
Yeah, armature. definitely among them. Lots of one-handed typos. One of my favorites was Texas and Louisiana, who really wanted to watch some Lebsium porn. That's what they were looking for. But by far the most popular typo was the search term porn with an F, which means lots of people were going to Pornhub and then trying to search for porn, just the general term porn.
I'm just picturing some old guy logs on and he's like, porn. Sorry, I panicked. Hey, it's porn. Well, this worked out great. I have less regrets.
Yeah, I don't know whose phone doesn't at this point just auto suggest porn when you type P anyway, or just like when you turn it on, just at the opening screen. Not just mine,
Be honest,
right?
you type P or Y, you're going to you porn or porn, right?
Absolutely. It's on my most visited website, so people are always like, no, I'll Google it and show you. And I'm like, don't do that. And they open the window and they're like, ah!
No.
Why don't you safe search? And I'm like, I want my sex robot to know what I want. I'm not filling out a survey.
Moving on to the top gaining searches in the U.S. Most of the country had big uptrending for cheerleader and hentai last year. Because, again, as a group, we are creepy as fuck.
Yeah, why can't we be normal and listen to people tap bowls?
All right, well, there were a few outliers, though. For example, Montana went big on 3 girls, 1 guy.
Okay, all right, maybe, but that's just because that's the entire female population of Montana. They're just trying to get them all at once.
Let's see. South Dakota went big on squirting. Great pick. And West Virginia was all about smoking, which was kind of fun too. But my favorite, by far, Vermont and New Hampshire. The biggest new trend up there was giantess, which I learned is kind of like it sounds, but not exactly. It's close. Apparently, they take average-sized actresses and then use camera tricks to make it look like they're fucking enormous and show them doing stuff like stepping on people and crushing entire landscapes and inserting entire men inside their bodies, which is like the greatest topic ever.
You're going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
You all know you're going to watch it, right? The guys already know. The girls are like, I'm not going to what? The guys are like, yeah, no, it's in there. You're like, I got you. I'm typing it right now because I'm listening on the way from work and like nobody's near my desk. So
it's amazing.
I'm watching.
It's
Everybody
between
jump
3
on
and
it.
5, after all.
Inserting an entire man inside. I thought BBC was intimidating. How the fuck do you compete with that?
Interesting enough, this is also where Sarah Huckabee Sanders got her start. Except nobody told her it was a camera trick at first, so she... It's like Tony Jaa did the same thing, kind of.
I did see one of these, Heath, but it was one where the girl rapes a bunch of guys. It's called Forced Perspective, is the name of it.
It is.
Look it up. It's good.
Non-consensual POV. Yeah, it's lovely. All right. Now, the other state-by-state map that I found interesting showed the relative term in each state that was getting more searches when compared to other states. And this is where you really got a terrifying glimpse into America's different regions. And since we just talked about giantess porn, I'm going to start there. In addition to Vermont and New Hampshire, that was also the top relative term, giantess, in Minnesota, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Virginia. So if you're in one of those places right now, I guess everybody look to your left, now look to your right. Both of those people probably jerked off earlier today to a 50-foot tall lady kraken shoving dudes inside of herself, which is fantastic to think about.
Everyone was up there just pushing up to the front of the crowd. I volunteer as tribute.
They do look hungry. They look hungry sometimes. Absolutely.
And we saw how tall J-Law is at the Oscars. So,
Oh, if she
Right?
was just her 50 feet tall unrolling masking tape.
giant whisper, I'm going to step on you and then whisper this masking tape.
Okay. Somebody else want to take over? I got this. All right. So another excellent relative trend happened in both Alaska and North Dakota. In both of those states, they were extra excited about the Do Not Come challenge.
Okay, yeah, but that's just because there's no reason to come to either state. So they just got confused.
Or in either state.
Well, okay, Do Not Come challenge. This is another fantastic new world for me that I learned about this week. So these videos feature a metronome noise as part of the audio, and you're supposed to stroke it in time with the metronome, and the speed of the metronome keeps going up along with the graphic intensity of the video keeps going up. And you're supposed to hold out as long as possible. Apparently, it's used as endurance training. All right, one last detail about the U.S. map of relative trends. Based on porn habits, you can very easily track the epicenter of American racism. As you'd probably guess, it's somewhere in the middle of Alabama, and it spreads out in all directions to cover Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Also, North Carolina was slightly different, but not much better. Maybe worse. You guys tell me. So the top relative term in those 7 epicenter states was black girl, white guy. And definitely not in like a progressive good way. Not like, oh, I'm into mixed. No, I'm assuming plantation was often part of the search.
Oh,
and they didn't
no,
say it.
Jesus.
And in North Carolina, tell me if this is better or worse, the term was ebony anal. I feel like it's worse.
That's better than ivory anal, which involves an elephant tusk and a DNR agent. So
Okay, wait, Cecil, what does better mean in this sense?
that's up to you, Noah. That's you. I'm not going to make that judgment call.
All right, but hold on, wait a minute. If you don't prep right, isn't all anal potentially ebony? I mean, that's
Dutch processed cocoa.
And one last thing before we wrap it up. So I learned from the review that Pornhub's dedicated section for gay sex has search terms that are way more interesting, especially
Just like the sex itself.
Yep, I got that impression. Absolutely, I'm having a lot of confusing week for me. So especially the trending searches from last year in the gay section. Here's a few highlights. At number 1 was police patrol, and that would be cops fucking criminals in custody. That was number 1.
Way preferable to what happens, so I get it.
Fair point. At number 2, and this is my favorite part. Number 2 was something called "Is That Your Boner?" and number 4 was, "Bro, is that your dick?" which both sound like super fun game show scenarios. I feel like they're really getting some fun into
You
it.
hear that, Cecil? He thinks it's a fun game show. A fun game show. Don't lock me out of the hotel room.
I feel like pronunciation here is key. If the question is like, is that your boner? Like what circumstances do you not know whose boner that is? Is that mine? No? Yours? Oh, okay. Well, now it's mine. Now that's mine.
Do you ever do the
You
stranger?
get it. You solved the
Do you
puzzle.
ever do the stranger? You can do it with dicks too. You can sit on each other's dicks and then they're numb and your hands and you do. Okay,
It's
moving
not how
on.
you sit on each other's dicks.
I was doing it wrong. I guess I was doing it wrong.
All right. So, Heath, I know this is a big question, but if you had to summarize everything you've learned today in one sentence, what would it be?
Gay people seem to be having way more fun with porn than straight people. They seem to they seem to get the medium better, is what I mean.
That was 2 sentences.
Artsy.
It was a semicolon.
Semicolon. Okay.
Same thing for the gay guy. Put it semi in his colon. So.
And are you ready for the quiz?
Yeah. Also, ASMR is the greatest. I learned that. And yes, I'm ready.
It's 3 sentences now.
There was a ... There was an ellipsis. You don't know where I'm putting punctuation.
Okay, Heath, what's the best way to explain your browser history? A, tell them that glory hole is a slang for stigmata. B, that a gilf is a race in World of Warcraft. C, that lesbian scissoring is a craft show. Or that D, you could tell them that hentai is chicken neckwear.
No.
I love that so much.
Is Gilf not a race in Warcraft?
They look adorable in those little ties, actually.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to say D. Hentai is chicken neck.
It is absolutely D.
Excellent.
All right. Well, now that you know what your neighbor jerks off to, how are you going to sleep tonight? A, you're not. That's not for you now. B, thinking of his dreamy eyes and wondering, whose boner is that?
Will we ever find the rightful owner?
Join us next week on Whose Boner Is That?
C, with a nice cup of chamomile tea, a fleshlight, and a healthy amount of shame.
It's C. I'm yelling it out. I know it. It's C.
Maybe just the right amount of
Or,
shame, actually.
D, dreaming, it turns out, of his wife, as long as she's a mom.
Yeah. Or a cheerleader.
It's bad if she's a cheerleader mom.
Tempting, still C.
Okay.
T. Fleshlight. Shame.
Yeah, why not?
All right, Heath. So you happen to choose a topic that I'm an expert on. Which of these is an actual hentai title? A, Boy Meets Harem.
Oh.
B, Bible Black. It's not what you think. C.
How do you know
think?
what I think?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you think. I know what you think. C, Cafe Junkie. Or D,
What?
all of the above.
Is it coffee? Is there coffee involved in C? Is it that kind of cafe?
There's coffee involved in all of them.
There's coffee in all of
I'm
them.
not supposed to give you hints, but there's coffee involved in all of them.
All right. Well, I got to say D, all of the above then.
That is correct. That is correct.
Normally
That's
we do.
terrifying. Bible Black is a real name
Is
for
one of
them?
the most popular hentais of all time.
Really?
All right,
Yep.
all right. I feel like I got one for you here. I'm going to try to stump you. What is the worst thing about Pornhub? A,
Reject the premise.
my inability to find that video with the tattooed chicks and the hula hoops again. I don't know what I have been searching, and it was like it was a suggested video under something. Anyway, if anybody knows, you can email me.
Yeah, please, could you stop tweeting us? Have you reviewed God's Not Dead and find the hula hoop and the tattoos? For once? I get it. You don't like my dog. Find something useful.
Is it B, the bit where the video you're watching gets way weirder than you're comfortable with, but you're already past the point of no return, so you have to just kind of live with the thing that you're coming to at this point?
Yes. Yes. Or when you realize that that's your thing now and you got to change your whole life. Where you're just like, hair job? Oh, great. I'm a hair job guy now. Fantastic. That's fucking great. Cool. Here, dear mom, guess what I learned about myself today?
Yeah, I just bought a whole bunch of masking tape.
You guys are. I'm supposed to disguise the answer. All right, I have two others. C, being turned on by clothes being cut off with scissors, but not by vaginas being rubbed together in a really uncomfortable looking way. It makes it impossible to fucking search. Or D, the fact that my parents didn't even bother to use a fucking stage name.
It's either B or C, and I feel like it's B. It's B.
No, I'm sorry. It's C. You
What?
were close. You were close. Though you did have it. You did good elimination. Like Thomas Takes the Bar. 50% is really easy to get to. So
Thomas Takes the Bar was a fun video, too.
It turns out it was his bar. Yeah.
Is this your bar?
That's just the video of him at MythCon.
Okay. Okay. That stays in.
Shitlord is a fun category. Absolutely. It's a great tab. People don't underrated tab. Shitlord.
Oh, man. Okay, well, Noah, you win now. So you win. You win.
All right. Awesome. Wait, I can't win and announce myself. This is wrong. I can't be the host and the essayist.
We all win, and you're the winning. Everyone, we'll figure it out next week. Everybody,
You're on your own, buddy.
getting a real long diatribe next week, people. Enjoy it. So I'll toss it over to Sarah for last week's Twitter answer and this week's Twitter question.
Thanks, Eli. Last week's question was, what was the nickname that Roy Sullivan never got? The winner was Lacey McConnell on Twitter with this: Lucky Strike. This week's question is, if the cast of Citation Needed were all in porn, what would each of our porn star stage names be? Just retweet or Facebook share this episode with your answer for a chance to be next week's winner. Back to you, Eli.
All right. Well, for Tom, Heath, Noah, and Cecil, I'm Eli, thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Noah will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can listen to those two jack-offs over on Cognitive Dissonance, and you can listen to our Circle Jerk over at God-Awful Movies, The Skeptocrat, and The Scathing Atheist. And if you'd like to help keep the show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod, or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or tweet Heath audio of you ripping some tape or something, check the show notes. Be sure to check out citationpod.com. And remember, pay for your fucking porn.
Oh, do that thing that Eli said about tweeting.
Right? Don't bother me about my dog. Make yourselves useful.
Oh my God, so fucking hot.
I've never seen anything like that. Jesus.
Yeah, just so well put together, too.
Those things are huge. You just want to dive your face in there.
Oh, yeah. I want to eat my way from one side to the other. I don't even want to come up for air.
You know, one day there's going to be smell-o-vision, you know?
Fuck that. I want
You're
taste-o-vision.
not wrong, man. Fucking here comes the glaze. Here comes the glaze.
Holy shit, look at that.
It's going everywhere.
So much of it.
Guys, can you change the channel? I don't want to watch Martha Stewart make cinnamon rolls. I'm trying to jerk off.